3, 2, 1, go.
They should just.
Please, here. You got your injuries? Papa Sean. All right, come on.
We should just have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Appreciate your attendance. We all do. It helps keeps us from. What was that thing again? All right, getting more jobs. We're waiting for it. He's been thinking about it. More importantly, he's been thinking about the fact that Wade's been thinking about it. To start out, Evan Edwards is going to tell you the poop story from the Apple Door. It's going to be awesome. Everybody give it up. Evan Edwards.
Hey!
Evan
Hey! Oh, I like that.
Where'd you get those pants? The Easter Bunny?
Yeah.
Obviously changed.
So there I was.
I am.
Going on an Apple Door sale. We sold trips, tickets to some people thinking they're going to have a lovely evening out on a sunset sail on aboard a traditional New England fishing schooner.
That's good traditional up on this shit.
So they go out, they're having their Sunday's best on, feeling romantic, feeling great. And you know what we do? We have a full boat on, feeling good. Everybody's drinking champagne, they're drinking wines, and drinking their classy beers, their Miller Lights, the Yinglings, and their Coronas, in cans, of course. That's how we do it. And we had a bunch of people on board. We had some locals. We had J-World crew, which was great. Those performance sailors with their sailing students. We had some Liberty Clipper crew on board. We had a couple that I remember fondly. They just got married. They were from, they're Hispanic. I believe they're from Brazil. I don't remember. They were darker skin.
Obviously Argentina.
Yeah. So what happened? We were about 45 minutes into our sail. And out of a 2-hour sail, so we're about 45 minutes, not even halfway through. The sun's still up because it's later in the season. And a young lady comes on board. She was there. She looked at our circuit board and was like, "Hey, I'm going to help out here."
We didn't have to say young lady with the facts. You know.
It was Katie Walker. She was on board.
What about Kate? Oh, yeah.
What?
She'll admit to it. I wish she was here to interject. Because her little snippet of the story is awesome, too. And then Katie Walker stumbles into the
Yeah,
switchboard.
Katie Walker's on board. She goes down to use the head. She looks at the circuit breaker board and says, "Hey, some of these breakers are off." And one particular breaker was off. It was called the macerator breaker. Now, it'd be good news if she knew how we rolled on the Apple Door at that season when our macerator switch is always turned on. Now, if you're not familiar with macerators, it's a pump that turns with the blade that chops up poo and other things, right? And on the Apple Door, we had one before, and now we got a new powerful one that was just awesome. It would pump the shit out of shit. It didn't sound like that. It was like that. It was like Tim Allen. It was extra powerful. It was like almost like gasoline powered. This thing was high powered. And of course, the Apple Door, it pumped right up on deck on the midships cabin, right in the middle of the boat almost. And of course, our cap for that particular sector didn't have an O-ring and also had a nice crack on the top of it.
Oh no.
So she goes down below and decides, "Hey, I'm gonna turn this breaker on." That's how we used to turn it on and off, or that's how we did it this season, because that switch was always just turned on. So she turned it on. Boom! And little did she know what massacre would come next. And what came next was a sprinkler effect with the threads, coming out. Probably a clockwise counter. I don't know. But I was standing probably at least 20 feet away from this thing, and I got sprayed by it. So everybody, imagine 49 people on a boat. And there's a shit thing on the cabin towels, and all of a sudden it's going. and then there was a crack on the top, so spraying straight up into the sail too. And it was literally like, I remember like it was yesterday. It was like, I remember Saving Private Ryan. He's on the beach and the bomb goes off by him. And the ringing noise. And then it was in slow motion in black and white where there's like a guy running around with like his arm was blown off and he picks the thing up. It was like that to me, like literally, like I'm not even like making this stuff up. But it was like slow motion where people were like, you see everybody spreading out in a particular area, like just like moving, and then like going. And I look over and it was making that noise like, and then it was going straight up in the air too, and it was like you could see how it was running around like a sprinkler. And of course it was all muddy poop brown because it was shit water. It was literally, we had a 44-gallon shit water tank. And it was spraying out at high velocity. The negotiator.
Oh my god.
And it was pretty, and then we're like, oh, turn it off! Like, we're just like, turn it off! And like, I jumped down below and like, Katie Walker's down there and she's like, hits the switch again. And like, of course, everybody's fucking laughing and I'm like, and it would have been real funny to me if I wasn't working. But then I'm looking at people, and people at that time, another mate came up to me and goes, oh my god, and he told me, he's like, I hope, or he said something like, oh, please don't let them know what it is. Please don't know what it is. And then like somebody was like, it's shit water! And so the cap's on the corner of the cabin top right here, and there's people sitting right across from it. These two particular ladies from North Carolina had gotten it in their mouth, and then was projectile vomiting off the side. It had it in their hair and everything. So there's two people throwing up because they had shit water in their mouth. And then at the same time, I'm thinking, man, people could probably contract hepatitis from this. Like, I was thinking, this is bad.
That's 100%.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, what do you do? I'm like, and then I'm thinking, we're going to sail back into the dock right now.
Oh no.
Guess what? Nope, we're out there for another hour. So luckily we had like baby wipes on board. I'm like, I'm passing out baby wipes, and then at the same time somebody's coming out with a cheese platter. Like, oh, yeah. So everybody in the back of about the two Hispanic people that just got married. Everybody in the back who didn't get sprayed by shit was laughing hysterically like the rest of the trip. Like, you can't even stop them from laughing. Because they didn't get sprayed by shit. Everybody at the front is pissed off. They're like covered in shit. And like at the same time, like, I mean, it was brown shit water all over the boat. And then it was funny because we had these two people from the ladies that got sprayed in the mouth. Their husbands didn't get it that bad. And I remember particularly this guy had, I remember he showed up, he had this big styrofoam cup. And he's like, yep. He's like, fill me up. Fill me up. And like, we'd pour beers into his cup, and it was like one of those Circle K, like 44 ounces. It was like 3 beers, and he was like, yeah. So the whole time I'm like, all right, I'm like, and then you come up, you're like, how's everybody doing? Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know what you say to him. It was like kind of weird. It's like, okay, beautiful sunset out there, guys. And then everybody else is like still laughing. Like people were uncontrollably laughing. It's like when you laugh in church when somebody farts, you just can't stop laughing. So the people in the back were like that. They kept on laughing the whole time. And then, these guys from North Carolina, they were like rednecks, you know. They were like, well, we're having a great time. Whew. My wife smells like shit, though. Like, and their wife's like, shut up, Dan, fuck you. Like, swearing at them. And then, like, we're pulling in, and then this guy's like, as we're like docking, he's like, finally, like the whole time he's like ripping on his wife, like, thinking how funny he's like, you know, and he has his like big foam cup, like, that's my wife. What are we going to do about this? I'm like, why don't you call the office, get a refund? That's my wife. So, I mean, this is disrespectful. The whole time he's like ripping on her, like,